Hi there. Eric Andreas, your guitar sage here for another stellar lesson. Today we're going to be talking about a basic fretting technique, okay? So whether you are a beginner, intermediate, or advanced player, this is a technique that every guitar player should be approaching the instrument with. It doesn't matter the genre. You can be heavy metal, blues, rock, doesn't matter. I play all those, love them. Classical, doesn't matter what it is. This is how you're going to approach the fretboard. Now, the whole point of this technique is to make your chords sound clean, to make a minimal amount of fretting efforts where you're not having to hold on really tightly, to make everything basically sound cleaner. Okay? This technique is easy to understand, it's easy to learn, and honestly, it's easy to really get into your playing. You just have to be conscious of it, especially in the beginning, and not just necessarily being a beginning guitar player, but at any point if you're not doing this already. So let's talk a little bit about what's happening when we're fretting a note, and then that's going to help theoretically to understand why I'm teaching you this. Okay, so when we pick a string, of course, it's vibrating between the nut and the bridge. Okay? These little fret wires here basically are there to act as a nut. But in order for it to work, we have to press down on that string. And we have to press down on that string hard enough to where it makes contact with the fret. And as we play frets that are closer to the bridge, of course it goes up in pitch. Now, what I see a lot of folks do, especially in the beginning, is I see them putting their fingers anywhere in this area here. And that's fine. Technically, this is going to be the same note as this. It's not a violin, so we don't have, it's not a fretless instrument, it's a fretted instrument. So as long as we're somewhere in here and we're pressing down hard enough, the note's going to sound the same. However, the problem is that in the beginning especially, a lot of folks don't have enough strength in their fingers. And so the further away that you are from the fret, the harder that you have to press down. Not only the harder you have to press down, typically you're going to get this type of sound if you're further away from the fret. Ah, that sounds familiar, doesn't it, right? So you've probably run into that before, the dreaded muted sound when you don't want it to be. Or this sound. Sounds like my finger's getting electrocuted. But if we take the same amount of pressure and I just scooch it up closer to the fret, now it's making contact and it sounds nice. Back it up. So it really has everything to do with how close you are to that fret. Okay? So the basic technique is, one, getting close to that fret. Another thing is playing on your fingertips. If you're playing on the pads of your finger, this right here is a lot squishier, and that's a technical term. That's what we use in classical schools and guitar schools. Squishy. I don't know what I'm talking about there. But the tip of your finger is going to be a lot harder than the pad of your finger. Do not use the pad of your finger unless you want to suck. Some folks out there may want to suck, and so if you want to suck on the guitar, do play on your pads, okay? Otherwise, play on your fingertips, very important. Okay? Playing right behind the fret, and obviously giving enough pressure, so pressing down is a third thing that you want to do. And a little extra ninja tidbit here is you want to have some space in between the palm of your hand and the actual guitar neck. If you're not doing that, what's going to happen is you're going to be holding the guitar like a broom or a shovel, which is great if you want to dig a hole or if you want to sweep. But just like as a little kid, you grab a crayon like this, or a pen or something like that, as you get to be older, you hold it with a little bit more finesse. Why? Because you know it's not going to flip out of your hand, whereas when you're a little kid, you're learning these motor skills and you've got to grab something like that. Well, when we're just holding the guitar, that's what we do. And you'll, in fact, see a lot of pros do this as well. But the difference is this, is that they've learned to do this the right way to where they can actually cheat with their technique. Okay? I shouldn't even mention that to you because you're going to say, well, the pros are do it, then I should do it. No, if you're a beginner, never do it, promise you don't do it. If you can somehow get away with it, then great, but I've never seen a beginner do that. They have to drop that thumb down behind the back of the neck and provide some room right in here so that their chords can sound clean. Okay, so make sure that you do that. All these techniques are going to help you to be a stellar guitar player. It doesn't matter what genre or what advanced, doesn't matter. This is going to help. I promise you. Practice this technique when you're playing your scales. Make sure you're doing the same technique, fingertips close to the fret, pressing hard enough, all those that I just mentioned, all right? All right, my friends, this is part of my Unstoppable Guitar System series. So make sure that you click on the link below. You can get into that series for $1. Yes, $1. And in fact, if you're not even happy with it after 2 weeks, I'll even send you the dollar back. I'm that confident about it. This is what I do for a living. It's what I've done for a long, long time, including writing books about music and guitar. So I'm here to help you. If you need anything in regards to guitar, I'm your guy. Let me help you. Hit me up here on YouTube or Twitter and Facebook and all those places. I'm in there too. I'm on the interwebs. I'm here to help you. So please let me know how I can help. Go to yourguitarstage.com, sign up for my newsletter, where you'll get free books and other information as I write them. So check that out. Anything that you want to do on this instrument, you can do. I promise you that. I'm living proof of that. I sucked when I started playing guitar. So did Eddie Van Halen and Jimi Hendrix, believe it or not. And then they practiced, and they got better, and they became famous. So you can do anything that you want on this instrument if you have the right instruction and if you do the practice. So I'm Eric Andreas, your Guitar Sage. Please spay and neuter your animals, don't trust the man, and keep practicing. See ya.